Coach, opening thoughts ahead of trip out west to Arizona State and California Baptist.
No, I think I know these guys are excited. We got a little bit of break since we were in Nashville, and we've had a pretty good training period. We're a little banged up in places, but we're starting to heal up, and nothing terrible. But it's a good test. Arizona State will be gunning for us. That's for sure. These guys had a really good first semester and put their name out there, and now you got a target on your back a little bit, and so we got to make sure that we understand that and we're ready for that fire. And I know Arizona State will bring it, and then Cal Baptist got some really good kids, so good test for us, really good test right now.
What's Casey Swiderski's injury situation?
He's going to not travel this trip. He's really close to getting ready to go, but this time of year we're not going to push it. We're not going to err on it. He just had a small surgery on his knee, and he's coming along really, really good. We're going to be smart about it, and obviously Redding's done a really good job for us. He did a great job for us out in Nashville, and we're pretty good there.
How nice is it to have, Redding was a round of 12 guy last
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
to have that be your backup?
Well, he's a round of 12 guy at 133, so
Right.
we put some work on him to go to 149. But, that just says a lot about Zach Redding, that he can get up there and compete with that. And obviously he cut a ton of weight to be at 133 last year. So 141's obviously the best weight for him, but we got a pretty good guy there right now. So, Zach's had a great attitude about it. Really worked hard since we came back as a team on the 26th, and he's had a really good training period.
I know we've talked about it before, but the bond with Anthony and Younger being countrymen, how does that show itself to you, and how valuable is it with Anthony coming in and Younger having been here for a while?
Well, I think it's good for Younger because he was over here, and he was a little bit of the Lone Ranger in terms of just nationality. And those guys, as you guys probably know, grew up together and were in the clubs together since they've been this tall. And then Anthony coming over here, just kind of the weird way he came back here. He actually started here. And if it wouldn't have been for Anthony, we wouldn't have got in touch with Younger. And now as it comes back, Younger's here and Anthony follows him here. So it's a little bit of a soap opera, but a good soap opera. A good soap opera for us right now. So
I guess, how do you feel about the team just coming back and getting the gears going, getting them rolling again, and just how they've kind of responded after the break and just being ready for a duel, after a couple weeks?
Usually that first one back is a little bit tough because they get a little comfortable or maybe uncomfortable over the holidays. It's natural for their weight to balloon up a little bit, and the training, we gave them 7 or 8 days away from us, which is good and bad. If you're disciplined, it's good. If you're not so disciplined, it's not so good. So, you find out a lot about the guys when they come back to see what they did over the break. But my experience has been that it's always been a good break. And so we'll see. Arizona State competed 5 days ago, so they've got some matches under their belt already, this kind of second semester type. But, I think we'll be okay.
Colton Schultz is listed on their probables at heavyweight. If he does wrestle, what do you want to see out of that Younger match with him?
I think that'd be exciting for the fans. You got two guys that are obviously in the top 5 right now. Anytime you can get that, that's great. And I know Younger's super excited to wrestle him. He wants to feel him. He wants to see what he's about. I don't think Colton was really competing hard to make the Greco Olympic spot, and I think he's put himself in a good position to do that the first semester. So I think this would be his first. I think this is going to be his first folk style match of the year, which is kind of crazy to think that you're going to wrestle Younger Bastida as your first match of the year. But he's competed on the world stage his whole life, so he'll be fine.
Another guy who spent a year essentially competing on the world stage, Cody Chm for you, got Ja'Cory Teamer.
Yeah.
What do you want to see there? Cody's been real close against some of these top guys, but hasn't quite gotten over that hump.
Well, what a great opportunity for Cody. He's, I think as he goes through his career, he's probably not going to be the underdog a lot going forward. He's just a really talented young kid, and obviously he's got to figure some things out as a freshman. He's had some ups and downs already, but I know he's super excited to wrestle a guy where he's, nobody's really giving him much of a chance, and so that's going to be a good test for him. I know he's pumped about that.
How do you see their styles match up? Because David said they're kind of a little bit different style.
Yeah, no question. You got a really explosive guy. We got to slow him down. And Teamer, a really athletic, explosive guy. And then you got Cody, who's kind of a grinder, high motor guy. So, we got to get that match going.
You had a few guys at the Soldier Salute, whether it's Kreiser, Panero, Johnson. I guess, what did you think about their performance, getting some guys out there?
I think we had some. It was good for us to get matches there. I think Uten and Kreischer and Panero and Nate Schoen. It was good to see some of those guys get in there and all get on the podium. So, for those guys right now, it's just about matches, and you never know when your number is going to get called. Obviously, we're not going to be with Panero and Nate Schoen this year, but Kreischer and Uten and all those guys. Uten stepped in and did a really good job for us in Nashville. So, it's important for those guys to stay in the groove.
Panero, I mean, he talked a little bit about just him being able to step into this role and being kind of a guy in the room that's helping to push guys to get them further. I mean, what have you seen from him? Obviously, in the year, not going to get him back, but he's still contributing.
Panero's really grown every year. He came here as a gray shirt and he couldn't walk and chew gum. As athletic as he is, he just had a really hard time figuring out the training. And then last year we saw, as we all know, moments of wow, but then, still struggled in the practice room a lot of times, and so now we see a guy that's just getting a little bit more, more consistent. When he gets consistent, he's a world level dude, But that consistency is what we got to have. When he gets that, and he comes in there every day ready to rock and roll, he's got a chance to be great.
Outside of Swiderski, do you feel relatively healthy up and down the lineup?
Yeah, we do. Broderson's been a little dinged up. He's back in there. We still got probably a few things to figure out at 97, but if he makes it through today, being Tuesday, and we get on a plane tomorrow, then he makes it through today, he'll be the guy. And we got some guys that want a shot at 97, so we're still trying to figure that out. But right now, Julian's the number one guy.
Are there any other weights where there's flux?
I don't know right now if there's any other weight that we're like just dying to wrestle off at right now. We're going to kind of see how guys. Today I'm a practice guy. Today's a big practice for us, and I need to see guys compete, and I need to see what they weigh too. So, today's going to be, we're going to get on the scale, and then we're going to get on the mat. And if you can't perform, you might not be in the airplane. If you perform, you might be on the airplane. And so 10 guys, we got 10 seats. We don't know who's all going to sit in them, but I got a pretty good idea. There's a couple guys that I need to, I'm not quite sure of yet, names to be withheld.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, guys.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.